Question number 41 to 43. What are we supposed to do in question number 41 to 43? It is for incorrectly spelt words. Okay. Question number 41 to 43. In the following questions, groups of 4 words are given and in each group 1 word is incorrectly spelled. Find the correctly spelt word. We have to find the correctly spelt word. Question number 41. We have the first word limousine. Now, what is the correct spelling of limousine? The correct spelling is L-I-M-O-U-S-I-N-E. This is the correct spelling of limousine. This is my N. Okay, you get this very often. So first one is incorrect. Then the next one spelling is incorrect. It should be P-A-R-A. A has to be inserted after R. That will make the correct spelling. Hysteria. Hysteria is correct. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is also a very common word. Make sure you learn the correct spelling. So H-Y-P-O-C-R-I-C-Y is incorrect. We have to say S-Y, hypocrisy. So my answer for question number 41. In the following questions, there are 4 words and in each group one is correctly spelled. I'm sorry, this will be one is correctly spelled. Okay. Then my answer is hysteria. Then we have hazardous, perceive, incredible and knowledgeable. Question number 42. What is the spelling of perceive? Hazardous. Hazardous is correct. Then we have perceive. P-E-R-C-E-I-V-E. P-E-R-C-E-I-V-E. This will be the correct spelling of perceive. Incredible. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E. A will be replaced by I, and then we have knowledgeable. So in this, hazardous is the correctly spelled word. Question 43. Here erroneous has been spelled correctly. Contemptuous, C-O-N-T-E-M-P-T-U-O-U-S. Here you have to insert U. Spontaneous, S-P-O-N-T-A-N-E-O-U-S. Instead of A, write E. Erroneous and gorgeous, G-O-R-G-E-O-U-S. That will be the correct spelling. Question number 44 to 53. In the following questions, 4 alternatives are given for idioms and phrases which are printed in bold in the sentence. Choose the alternative which best expresses the meaning of the idiom or phrase. A brave soldier will never show the white feather in the face of an enemy. What do we mean by to show the white feather? To show the white feather means to behave in a cowardice manner. To show the white feather, white is a color which is used to denote cowardice. Don't we say his face turned white? So that is to show cowardice. For question number 44, answer is A. Question number 44, answer is A. Question number 45. The poor man moved from pillar to post to get money. To moving from pillar to post means to try one's best. For question number 45, answer is D. That means to run in every direction. To run from pillar to post means that. Question number 46. You have to be tactful in handling the sensitive matters rather than putting the cart before the horse. The 4 options are treating things indifferently, behaving thoughtlessly, dealing with the haste, tackling things in a wrong way. This is going to be my answer. What happens? First we have the horse and then behind the horse we are going to put the cart. The cart is going to follow the horse. First the horse and behind the horse is going to be the cart. But what are we doing? We are putting the cart in the front and horse at the back. That means we are tackling things the wrong way. The boys cried with one voice. To cry in one voice means unanimously. Question number 47. My answer is going to be A. Question number 48. The scheme appears worthless at the first blush. Question number 48. Answer is B. At the first sight. At the first sight. His pronunciation was so bad and his voice so low that the speech he made was all Greek to me. Question number 49. Question number 49. Answer is incomprehensible. That means did not understand. Did not understand at all. That is going to be the answer. Inaudible means something which cannot be heard. Question number 50. He looked blank when he was informed about his dismissal. Question number 50. He looked blank. To look blank means to be puzzled and surprised. There was a blank look on his face. That means a look of surprise, a look of being puzzled. That is a blank look. 50 is B. Question 51. That fellow trumpeted up a story. Question number 51. Trumpeted up means concocted. Concocted means made up. Made up a false story. So for 51, answer is C. Question number 52. Though he is not a scholar, he wins arguments because he has the gift of the gab. Gift of the gab means a talent for speaking very, very well. A gift of the gab, a gift of the tongue. This means to speak very well. To speak very well. Our newsreaders have this gift. The thief passed himself off as a ticket examiner. Question number 53. Answer is C. Disguised himself. Pass off means to make others believe something. So that is to pass off. So he disguised himself. Question number 53. Answer is C. So idioms and phrases, idioms are over, and now let's move on to question number 54 to 73. What do we have? In the following questions, first and last sentences of the passage are numbered 1 to 6. Rest of the passage is split into 4 parts and named PQRS. These 4 parts are not given in their proper order. Read the sentence and find out which of the 4 combinations is correct and then find the correct answer. So this is question number 54 to 73. In this we have sentence rearrangement. In this we have sentence rearrangement. Question number 54. Let's see. A Kashmiri village chief became very friendly with another man of his village. After a while, he found his friend to be so greedy that he decided to send him away. He had told him too much of his private affairs. He did not wish to make the fellow his enemy. And this was easier said than done, for they had been close friends. At last, he thought of a plan. This is question number 54. Now, this is a kind of a story, okay, a small story if you can say. Now, in a story, what will happen? Things will go in a proper sequence. So, a Kashmiri village chief became very friendly with another man of his village. 54, okay. Then we are going to have, after a while, he found his friend to be so greedy that he decided to send him away. Now, this was easier said than done. P will be followed by S. What was easier said than done? Sending him away. This was easier said than done, for they had been close friends. Now, P followed by S. These we have decided to be the first 2 sentences. So, they are in B. Let's try B then. P and then S. And this was easier said than done, for they had been close friends. He did not wish to make his fellow his enemy. He had told him too much of his private affairs. Correct. At last he thought of a plan. Yes, this is the correct one. My answer is going to be B. Question number 55. The world is full of people, appallingly full, and they are tumbling over each other. There are 2 solutions to overcome these dislikes. One is the Nazi solution. If you don't like, kill them, banish them. One doesn't like the color of their skin or the shape of their nose or the way they walk and talk. Most of the people one can't know, and some of them one doesn't like. The other way is much less trifling, thrilling. The way of democracies is much more preferable. Question number 55. Now let's take a look at this sentence. Question number 55. Now if you see question number 55, in this question it says, the last line is, the other way is much less thrilling, the way of the democracies, and is much more preferable. We are talking about another way. So before another way, there should be something else also. One is the Nazi solution. If you don't like them, banish them. So probably Q is going to be my last sentence. And with Q at the last, we have 2 options, B and D. We have 2 options. Now let's try to fit in option B first. The world is full of people, appallingly full, and they are tumbling over each other. There are two solutions to overcome these dislikes. This is incorrect because after this we are immediately talking about dislikes, which is incorrect. Most of the people one doesn't know and some of them one doesn't like. This could be a possibility. Yes. One doesn't like the color of their skin or the shape of their nose or way they walk and talk. This is right. There are two solutions to overcome. Yes, this is going to be the right one. So D is my answer. Question number 56. My principal was put to test many a time in South Africa. In my heart of hearts, I always wished that I could win only if my client's case was right. But I was always tempted, this is I, I'm sorry, this is not one, this is I, but I always resisted the temptation. I remember only one occasion when after having won a case, I suspected that my client had deceived me. Often I knew that my opponents had tutored their witnesses, and if I only encouraged my clients or his witness to lie, we would win the case. In fixing my fees, I do not recall ever having made them conditional on my winning the case. Well, this is an incident from Mahatma Gandhi's life. And if you are in the habit of reading, sometimes what you get as passages, you have already read them, then your work becomes easier. This is question number 56 about Mahatma Gandhi when he was in Africa. Now let us try to do question number 56. My principal was put to test many a time in South Africa. Okay, then after that, let's try to fit in S. Often I knew that my opponents had tutored their witness, and if I only encouraged my client or his witnesses to lie, we would win the case. This is beginning with S. And after that, but I always resisted this temptation. Now the line Q is going to come after S. Which temptation? This temptation that he encourages his own clients to lie. So S is going to come after, Q is going to come after S. Here we do not have Q after S. Here, in fact, Q should immediately follow. So here also it is not immediately following. Here also it is incorrect. So let's try to fit in A. So often till Q we have done. Then R. I remember only on one occasion when after having won a case, I suspected that my client had deceived me. In my heart of hearts, I always wish that I could win only. Okay, fine. So A is going to be the answer. Answer is A. Question number 57. The decision to purchase a property involves various factors. There can be other factors only a seller may know and is required to disclose. This includes checking the documents for title verification, scrutinizing the original title deeds, etc. While purchasing a property, a screening procedure is followed. These include matters such as agreements entered into by the seller and the third parties, power of attorney is granted by the seller, and any ending litigation of the property. Nowadays, it is very difficult to verify whether the property is subject to litigation or otherwise. Question number 57. In question number 57, if you see, the decision to purchase a property involves various factors. Then we have there can be other factors only a seller may know and is required to disclose. Now in this sentence, question number 57, we see that P will come after Q. P will come after Q because here it says this includes checking the documents, title verification, scrutinizing original title deed, etc. There can be other factors. So other factor sentence will come after Q. So will come after P will follow. So P is going to be here and Q is going to be earlier. After that, what do we have? While purchasing a property, a screening procedure is followed. So this sentence will come even before these two, because first we are going to talk about a procedure and then what is to be done in that procedure, we are going to follow all that. So most probably in this sentence, R is going to be the first one. These include matters, all this will come later. So we have one option with R. Question number 57, we have one option with R. Let's try to fit in that. In this option, we also see that P has been used after Q. So question 57, the decision to purchase a property involves various factors. While purchasing a property, a screening procedure is followed. There can be, after that we have Q. This includes checking the documents for title verification, scrutinizing original title deeds, etc. There can be other factors only a seller may know and is required to disclose. These include, so what does the seller have to disclose which is not disclosing? All these mentioned in S. So this is going to be the last one. Absolutely right. Answer is C. So with a little bit of common sense and a little bit of logic, you will be able to do sentence rearrangement. Question number 58. The coming of computers sparked the need for remotely operated controls. It is silicon chip that is at the heart of the remote control. This produces an infrared beam which is made up of electromagnetic waves. When you press the button on the remote control, the chip sets off an electronic vibrator. The beam carries a code signal such as switch on, raise volume, etc. The code is based on binary digits. This is question number 58. Now, in this particular sentence, the the coming of the computer sparked the need for remotely operated controls. It is a silicon chip that is the heart of the remote control. This P is immediately going to follow 1. So P is going to be the first one. Question number 58, P is going to be the first one. It is a silicon chip that is at the heart of the remote control. When you press the button on the remote control, the silicon chip sets off an electronic vibrator. Logically, if you follow, then R will follow. So this is going to be the first one. This is going to be the second one in question number 58. And then we have when you press the button, the remote control, the chip sets off an electronic vibrator, and this produces an infrared beam which is made up of electromagnetic waves. Then we are going to have Q, and the beam carries a coded signal such as switch on, raise volume, etc. Absolutely right. So PRQS, this is going to be the answer. PRQS, this is my answer. Question number 59. The neck has a long spinal column protecting the spinal cord and nerves. In rare cases, it can occur due to cancer as well. Neck pain can occur due to injuries, degeneration of spinal disc, disorders, and posture arthritis. It is caused by different factors, but most of them are not serious it should be. It is prone to a lot of injuries because of its precarious position. Neck pain is considered one of the most common workplace diseases. This is question number 59. Now in question number 59, sometimes what happens, even if you can find out the first sentence, here we have said the neck has a long spinal column protecting the spinal cord and nerves. So basically we are talking about what it contains, and it is prone to a lot of injuries because of its precarious position. This is going to be the first sentence. After talking about what it contains, we are saying that because of its positioning, it is prone to a lot of problems. So S is going to be the first one. Now with S as first, we have only one option. Let's try whether it will fit in or not. Number 2. Neck pain can occur due to injuries, degeneration of spinal disc, etc. Then it is caused by different factor, but most of them are not serious. And then after R we have P. In rare cases, it can occur due to cancer as well. Very right. So our answer is B. Answer is going to be B for this one. Question number 60. Before presenting a paper, it is advisable to choose a subject of your interest. When presenting your paper, speak distinctly and pleasantly. Next, read up about it before you write the paper. Then, prior to writing, make a clear plan to ensure orderly presentation. While reading, you should make notes. In this way, the interest of the listeners is enhanced and you are appreciated. Very simple if you understand logically. It is about paper presentation. So before presenting a paper, it is advisable to choose a subject. This is going to be the first sentence as already given. Now after that, Next it says, next read up about it before you write the paper. This is going to be number 1. Then it says, while reading you should make notes. It says, while reading you should make notes. So where do we have this? We have this here. While reading you should make notes. This is going to be sentence number 2. First it says read up, and then while you are reading make notes. So Q is going to be my first one and S is going to be the last one. Next one, where do we have Q as beginning? Here we have Q as beginning. After that, then prior to writing, make a clear plan to ensure orderly presentation. And while presenting your paper, speak distinctly and pleasantly. In this way, the interest of the listeners is enhanced and you are appreciated. So answer is going to be C. Answer is C. Question number 61. Environment is the place where all forms of life exists, live and prosper. Thus, there is a network of life forms with a close association among themselves and with the non-living matter. Any life form can exist on earth only if the integrity of all the components are maintained. Human life is closely linked with all the other forms in the environment and also with the inanimate objects like air, water and land. If any one component of this network is disturbed, it will have a profound adverse effect on all other components. Protecting environment is an important item of life. This is question number 61. Let's take a look. Question number 61. Environment is the place where all forms of life exist, live and prosper. Human life is closely linked with all the other forms in the environment and also with the inanimate objects like air, water and land. This probably is going to be the first one, R. Now, do we have any R beginning? Yes, here only if you could trace the first sentence because all of them have a different beginning. Let's fit in the one beginning with R. Then we have P. Thus, there is a network of life. Forms with a close association among themselves and with the non-living matter. Correct? Because first we will talk about humans and the relation to non-living things, and then that is explained. P. Then S, if any one component of this network is disturbed, it will have a great adverse effect on the other components. Fine, this is only going to be the answer. So our answer is going to be B. Question number 62. You would have heard about it by now. Yes, Pluto is no longer considered a planet. For instance, Pluto is the only known heavenly body that rotates in synchrony with the orbit of its satellite. It is to be called a dwarf planet henceforth. So, unlike the Earth and our moon, Pluto, Charon continuously face each other. Even in the past, Pluto's status had remained shaky and was always considered a peculiar planet. Discovered in 1930 and named after Roman god of the underworld, Pluto has an icy surface composed of nitrogen, methane and weighs just a fifth of the weight of our moon. Question number 62. Now in this sentence, if you see, you would have heard about it by now. Yes, Pluto is no longer considered a planet. Now in this, if you see, next will be, it is to be called a dwarf planet. It will no more be a planet, so it's going to be called a dwarf planet. So Q is going to be my first one, and with Q beginning, I have two here. This one is there and this one is there. Okay, first A and C. Now it is to be called a dwarf planet. Now it is to be called a dwarf planet, and then after that we will have this sentence. Even in the past, Pluto's status had remained shaky and it was always considered a peculiar planet, right? Logically, if you see, we will no more call it a planet. In the past, it was called a planet, and even before that, there were doubts. So this one fits in better. This one fits in better. Now let's fit in the rest. After us, we have P. For instance, Pluto is the only known heavenly body that rotates in synchrony with the orbits of its satellite. And then we have R. So unlike the Earth and our moon, Pluto and Charon continuously face each other. Discovered in 1930 and named after Roman god of underworld. Yes, this is going to be our answer. Our answer is C. Question number 63. One cold night, just as I was about to jump into bed, I heard guns firing. The whole city seemed to be lit by heavenly light. On looking out, I saw the flashes of the fast traveling bullets. I stood motionless as shells whistled past. I ran to nearest window. I ran to the nearest window. This is going to be the. I ran to the nearest window. It was almost like fireworks, except that the flashes were not for celebration but for destruction. This is a simple one. Question number 63. In question number 63, now if you see this, one cold night, just as I was about to jump into bed, I heard guns firing. After that, I stood motionless as shells whistled past. No, this is not going to be the one. For question number 63, we are going to see, okay, let's try to fit in. On looking out, I saw flashes of fast traveling bullets. Q is going to be used before I stood motionless. I ran to the, okay, I ran to the nearest window. So S is going to come before R. He is going to run to the nearest window and then he is going to look out. So we can safely say that on looking out, I saw flashes of the fast. I ran to the nearest window. So S is going to be before Q. S is going to be before Q, and then we have the whole city seemed to be lit by heavenly light. This is going to be the one. The whole city seemed to be lit with heavenly light, P. And then I stood motionless as shells whistled past. Yes, this one, S, Q, P and R. Here we have S, Q, P and R. Okay. Last one is R. I stood motionless as shells whistled past. It was almost like fireworks, except that the flashes were not for celebration but for destruction. So answer is going to be D. It looks simple, but it was not so simple. So answer is D, S, Q, P and R for question number 63. Now after that, let's move on to question number 64. Question number 64. Kaiser had been a very pious and wise old man. Kaiser would then appear and comfort that person. In Persia, whoever had any problem would pray to him for help. He would live until the day of judgment. He had drunk nectar, the water of eternal life. King of Persia also desired to see the great Kaiser. Question number 64. This seems simple and logical. 64, let us try. Now in this sentence, Kaiser had been a very pious and wise old man. Now in Persia, whoever had any problem would pray to him for help. First, we are talking about Kaiser. Who is he? He has been a very pious and wise old man. So we'll mention a little more about him. He had drunk nectar, the water of eternal life. He had drunk nectar, the water of eternal life. We want to start with this. So let's see, S beginning is in B. So he had drunk nectar, the water of eternal life. He would live until the day of judgment. Yes. R is going to follow S because eternal means living forever. So he would live until the day of judgment. Correct, SR. Then in Persia, whoever had any problem would pray to him for help and then he would appear. Correct. So first we will have Q and then we will have P. S, R, Q, E, P is my order. So B is my answer. Question number 65. We are still in the Cenozoic era of the age of mammals. Will mammals, one wonders, continue to be the earth's leading animals, or in 100 million years will most of the mammals of today belong to a parade of ancient animals? The great ice age and the time since forms a part of it. No one can leave. At the moment, no one can leave. At the moment, there is little to make us think that we will be crowded of the earth. We will be crowded of the earth. Question number 65. Now let's see this. In this one, we are still in the Cenozoic age of the mammals. The great ice age and the time since forms a part of it. Yes, this is going to be my first sentence. R. Okay, after R, here we have seen, will mammals, one wonders, continue to be the earth's leading animals, or in 100 years, or we cannot use or before. First P will be used and then Q is going to be used. Then Q is going to be used. So in such a situation, I am starting with R followed by P and Q. Here I have R followed by P and Q. Let's try now. So we are still in the Cenozoic era of age of mammals. Then we have the Great Ice Age and the time since forms a part of it. After that R we have P. Will mammals, one wonders, continue to be the earth's leading animals, or in 100 million years will most of the animals of today belong to a parade of ancient animals? No one can believe. At the moment there is little. Yes, this is going to be my answer. C, answer. This is my answer. Question number 66. Jagdish's mother was out of station and had left a few recipes for Jagdish to cook for himself. Here is one. Here is one. After a while, he added salt and chili powder to the slightly fried potato pieces. He cut and washed and peeled potatoes into tiny pieces. Obviously, Q will come before P because here he is adding chili to it. When the oil was hot, he put the potato pieces into it and stirred them now and then to prevent them from sticking to the karhai. R is going to come before P. Then he put the karhai on the lighted stove and poured 2 tablespoons of oil into it. S is going to be even before that. So QSRP. QSRP. Do we have QSRP? First is going to cut the potatoes, then he is going to put the kadhai and add the oil to it. QS. Then we have, when the oil is hot, he will put the potatoes in it and then he will add salt and chili powder. Very good. So everything is falling in place. Order is QSRP. Q is going to be number 1. S is going to be number 2. R is going to be number 3. P is going to be number 4. So my answer is A. Answer is A. 67. It was nearly 2 hours before break. When he reached his door, he opened it softly and walked lightly up the stairs. He entered the room where a table candle was burning upon. The streets were deserted, silent, as Bill Sikes hurried through them. He then drew up the curtain of the bed. Nancy was lying half dressed upon it. It was nearly 2 hours before break. So question number 67. Let's try to do this. Question number 67 will also be a little logical. It was nearly 2 hours before break. The streets were deserted, silent, as Bill Sikes hurried through them. First he is going to hurry through the streets and then he will reach his room. So now he is in the streets, and after that we will have, when he reached his door, he opened it softly and walked lightly up the stairs. Number 2. Then number 3, he entered the room where a table candle was burning. And number 4, he then drew back the curtain of the bed, and when he draws the curtain, he finds Nancy there. So this is our order. We have R, after R we have P, then we have Q, and then S. RPQS, here we have RPQS. What is my answer? My answer is A. Question number 68. The commonest form of known motorized transport is the bicycle. All one has to do is to hop on it and pedal off. It takes only a short time for an average person to master it. Also, except for inner tubes and tires, maintenance is rarely required, seldom required. The bicycle is a very simple machine to use. No wonder millions of people ride bicycles all over the world. Question number 68. In this sentence, let's try and do. The commonest form of known motorized transport is the bicycle. Then we will have, we are talking the commonest. Why is it the commonest? Because the bicycle is a very simple machine to use. Therefore, it is the commonest. So S is going to be number 1. After that, let us see what will be next. All one has to do is to hop on it and pedal off. It takes only a short time for an average person to master it. For question number 68, what do we see? Q will take it. First we will do this. It takes only a short time for an average person to master it. So Q will be number 2, and after that we will say all one has to do is to hop on it and pedal off. So this is going to be number 3. SQPR, R is going to be number 4. Also except for the inner tubes, correct. So where do we have SQPR, SQRP, R and then P. Question number 68, our answer is SQRP, not PR. So this will be D. Question number 69. Surgeons are next only to God. As such, they become demigods in the eyes of their parents and their families. Question number 69. And as the saying goes, cleanliness is next to godliness. They give a new lease of life to people who are in their deathbeds. Further, a surgeon's work warrants cleanliness in every aspect. Because of this purity which the surgeon sees everywhere, he tends to be pure in his heart too. Question number 69. Now in this sentence, surgeons are next only to God. Why are they next only to God? Because they give a new lease of life to people who are in their deathbeds. Very, very important, are. Okay, this is going to be the first one. Question number 69. This is going to be the first one. And when they do this, as such, they become demigods in the eyes of their parents and their families. As such, before as such, definitely there will be a sentence. So this is going to be number 2. So where do we have R for and then P? We have R and P here. After that, S. Further, a surgeon works warrants cleanliness in every aspect, and as the saying goes, cleanliness is next to godliness. Correct. So this one is going to be our answer. Question number 70. A panther, it is reported, broke into a house yesterday, attracted by the smell of cattle in the shade close by. Just as the panther was about to leap on him, he shot out of his bed and jumped onto a cupboard of heavy steel. P cannot be the first one, because just as the panther was about to leap on him, who is the him? Him is not mentioned here. The neighbors heard his cries and broke open the door. It strayed into the house where a boy Sitaram was sleeping alone. Probably this will follow. This is going to be the first sentence in question number 70. This is going to be the first sentence. But let us see. He heard sounds and woke up, took the torch from under the pillow, shone it in the direction of the sound, and saw the green eyes of the wild beast. By then the panther had escaped through the open window. Question number 70. Now in this sentence rearrangement, a panther it is reported broke into the house yesterday, attracted by the smell of the cattle in the shade close by. And after that we have to use this one. It strayed into the house where a boy Sitaram was sleeping alone. R. With R beginning I have this one, first one, and this one. Then let's try to do R, S. Okay, it strayed into the house where a boy Sitaram was sleeping alone. Then he heard sounds and woke up, took the torch from under the pillow, shone it in the direction of the sound, and saw the green eyes of the wild beast. Correct. This one could be the next one. Just as the panther was about to leap on him, he shot out of his bed and jumped into a cupboard of heavy steel. Correct. R, S, P, and then Q. The neighbors heard his cries and broke open the door. R, S, P, Q is the answer for question number 70. R, S, P, Q. Where do we have R, S, P, Q? Here we have R, S, P, Q. Okay. R, S, P, Q. Correct. This is the answer for question number 70. Let's move on to the next one. There is an uncontrolled growth of periodicals and magazines. Many readers are not capable of selecting the best books out of the many. In fact, bad stuff is more attractive to read. Therefore, in confusion, many people read bad stuff. This quantitative growth is perhaps not the one required for the society. Selection of good books is the most important task. Question number 71. Question number 71, let's try to do it. Question number 71. There is an uncontrolled growth of periodicals and magazines. Many readers are not capable of selecting the best books out of many. Yes, this is going to be the first one. So with P beginning we have 2. With P beginning we have, first let's try to fit in. Many readers are not capable of selecting the best books out of the many. This quantitative growth is perhaps not the one required for this society. No, I don't think this will fit in. So this is question number 71. This will get eliminated. Let's try to do this one. There is an uncontrolled growth of periodicals and magazines. Then we'll have, in fact, bad stuff is, many readers are not capable of selecting the best books out of the many. And in fact, bad stuff is more attractive to read. This quantitative growth is perhaps not the one required for the society. Therefore, in confusion, many people read bad stuff. Selection of good books is the most important task. Yes, this is going to be the answer. Question number 72. Caring for our elders has always been a key value in our culture. We also feel greatly blessed if we get an opportunity to live with them. Always remember that this sacred duty is part of our religious outlook. We consider it a privilege to have our parents and grandparents living with us. Besides, we believe that taking care of them in their old age is a sacred duty. Now we have besides here. So this cannot be the first sentence. So S will get eliminated. We are left with P, Q and R. S gets eliminated, so S will be cut out. For question number 72. Now, caring for our elders has always been a key value in our culture. 72. And then let us do, we consider it a privilege to have our parents and grandparents living with us. This is going to be the first sentence, R. After that, we also feel greatly blessed if we get an opportunity to live with them. Then we have third, S. Besides, we believe that taking care of them in their old age is our sacred duty. Always remember that this sacred duty is a part of our religious outlook. First, we'll talk about the sacred duty. So, S is going to come before Q, and S immediately before Q is only in the S immediately before Q in question number 72 is here only. So, that is the, here it says about the sacred duty, and then the next one. So, D is going to be my answer. Question number 73. Poor state of public health is what allows mosquitoes to flourish throughout India. They can spread not only dengue and chikungunya but also malaria and filariasis. It can be accomplished only if all the local committee put their shoulder to the wheel. Ad hoc measures do very little to curb mosquito population. What is needed is a sustained effort to curb the mosquito menace. It is high time mosquito control once again received the priority it deserves. Question number 73. In question number 73, poor state of public health is what allows mosquitoes to flourish throughout India. Then we have, they can spread not only dengue, chikungunya but also malaria and filariasis. Now, we will try to fit in with P, and with P beginning we have 2 here. Question number 73, we have 2. So, let us try to fit in question number 73 with the 2 options that are available. After P are ad hoc measures do very little to curb mosquito population. No, I don't think this is going to follow. They can spread not only dengue and chikungunya but also malaria and filariasis. It can be accomplished only if all local committees put their shoulder to the wheel. This is going to come before R. Ad hoc measures do very little to curb mosquito population. Correct. Our answer is going to be, answer is A. And now let's move on to the next exercise. What is the next exercise? The next exercise is on, the next questions. The next questions are on one word substitution. Question number 74 to 83. In the following questions, out of the 4 alternatives, choose the one which can be substituted for the given word or sentence. What is the art of making fireworks? Question number 74. It is pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics, this is chromatics is related to color, numismatics is related to coins, cosmetics, you must have heard, it's very simple. So your answer is C. Give off bubbles of gas. Give off bubbles of gas. Question number 75. That is effervesce. Effervesce. It's not a fuse. It's not a fluorescence. It's not a phase. Answer is B. 76. A system of governance controlled by persons of high intellectual ability. Question number 76. Answer is going to be meritocracy. Meritocracy. Democracy is by the people for the people. Snobbery is related to snobs. So meritocracy is the answer here. 77. Sudden and violent change. For question number 77, sudden and violent change is cataclysm. Cataclysm. Question number 78. 78. We have a small waterfall or group of waterfalls falling down a rocky hillside. Hurricane, no, no, no. Hurricane is a storm. Stream is a small river. Volcano, you must be aware about it. Answer is cascade. Question number 79. A noisy and bombastic speech addressed to a large assembly. Question number 79. Here the answer is going to be Harneque. Harneque. Noisy and bombastic speech. Rhetoric is repetitive. Cacophony is a bad sound. Oration is speech. The answer is Harneque. Question number 80. Instrument which records earth's tremors. Earth's tremors, this is related to the earthquake. So question number 80, answer is going to be seismograph. The practice of a woman having more than one husband at a time. Question number 81, more than one husband at a time, polyandry. And it is a polyandrous relationship. And more than one wife is going to be polygyny. Gyny. Question number 82. Question number 82. Specializes in nose diseases. 82. Rhinologist. An appearance of objects often simulating the appearance of water. When you feel that water is present there, for 83, answer is going to be mirage. Question number 83. Let's move on from question number 83.